Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on to Utah, the new addition to the Pac-12.
This should
Utah,
be interesting.
this would be really really interesting. We've got they've coming from the Mountain West Conference. They've been pretty successful there. They were the first team to go to a BCS game and win against a BCS school in a BCS bowl.
Isn't
Um,
it Alabama?
no, that was against Pittsburgh.
Oh, sorry. I just know they recently beat Alabama in a BCS, like not too.
Yeah, they've done it twice.
Yeah, sorry. Just kind of.
They're the only team that's done it twice. You could say Boise State did it, but they beat a TCU, which is a non-BCS school. They're the only team that was a non-BCS school to go to a BCS bowl and win against a BCS team twice. So they are returning 13 starters, 7 on offense, 5 on defense. On offense, they look pretty solid with Jordan Wynn coming back. He's got a lot of potential. He could take Utah somewhere. Um, but we'll have to see what Utah can do with a schedule that's tough in and out. They used to only have to play a very difficult game every few weeks, but now they have to play a very difficult game every single week. So we'll see if Utah can keep doing what they think they can do. Um, we are having some technical difficulties, so we are going to go to a break real quick. We will come back and continue talking about Utah. So we'll be back in a few seconds. So we'll be back. Hi, I'm Joseph from The Score. And remember that all of our broadcasts are archived at our Ustream page and our YouTube page at youtube.com/jhuerta11. Also remember to look us up at our Facebook page at facebook.com/thescore with Chase Efurd and Joseph Huerta with no spaces. And if you would like to follow us on Twitter, you can follow Chase at twitter.com/chaseeford. And if you would like to follow me, Joseph, you can follow me at twitter.com/thescore_Joseph. Alright, welcome back to The Score. We left you off talking about Utah with some ridiculous technical difficulties going on. I left you off saying that Utah has to play with a grueling schedule for the first time in the history of the program because now they are entering the big boy leagues over in the Pac-12 and the BCS. A big thing I do see is a big test for Utah is second week of the season, they have to visit USC. So that will be a huge game and just to see whether or not Utah is ready for the big times. I personally think they are. What do you guys think?
I think they're ready, just from their past success from BCS teams.
Uh, Joseph, do you think they're going to be good?
I do think they are. People try to write them off because of the competition they play, but you see they blow everybody out. They don't just like beat like San Jose State by 3 points.
That's true,
They
but
do.
it's going to be a lot different going from where they were to
Yeah,
the
of course
Pac-12.
it's going to be a lot different, but I mean,
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be instant success. I mean,
no, it won't be. But they
there won't,
have to
I don't
go.
think they'll have like a 10-3 season like they did last year.
No, I don't think they will either. It'll be the hard knocks of their first year in the BCS conference. So
But I
they'll
don't
be
think they'll do horrible.
yeah they'll be picked. They'll be pushed around a little bit, just trying to get adjusted to having to use your whole depth for the whole season. But I do think 7 or 8 wins is a fair number just for the first year in the Pac-12.
I would agree with that.
I
I mean,
do.
yeah,
I do think the
They're-
future of Utah is really high. Like I do think they're gonna be extremely successful in the Pac-12.
I think they'll be successful too, and they've been ready for a long time. Like you said, they've beat two BCS teams in bowl games and BCS bowls, and they're one of those teams that like Boise State, who always want to be taken seriously.
Yeah, they always play with a chip on their
Yeah,
shoulder.
yeah, and now they have the chance to be taken seriously, and I think that after this year, that initial year in a big time conference, they're going to be able to maybe make some stuff happen.
this
Yeah.
is their year. This is their year to prove that they can run with the big boys. I mean,
Well,
they
you have to kind of expect that they're still gonna they're gonna feel or they're gonna struggle a little bit just because it's their first year here and the whole
yeah they're
program's never
under
had to do this.
tremendous amount of pressure.
it's not about pressure. It's just about the kind of talent they actually have to play against week in, week out. It's different. They never had to do this before, so this is going to be different. So they are going to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get beat up, bruised up way more than they did before. And, that will come back to the next week and then the next week, because they're playing against bigger and stronger guys, consistently. I see where you're coming from. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. But
I do, yeah. We get it. All right, well, let's move on to UCLA. Does anyone know anyone on UCLA other than Raheem Moore?
No.
Yeah. I do know the coach's name, and okay, Rick Neuheisel, that's it. I do think this is Rick Neuheisel's last year. I think UCLA is not going anywhere again this year. They are returning 16 starters, 7 on offense, 8 on defense, and 1 on special teams. But that's not very important. Even though Raheem Moore is an elite safety, he is probably going to be taken in the first round in this next draft. One player is not going to make a whole team. And I think they'll finish around 5 or 6 wins.
Yeah,
unless
probably
the
not.
player's Cam Newton.
Unless the player's Cam Newton, yeah, there's difference.
I know. I was just throwing
One
that
player can make more of an impact on the offensive side of the ball than one player can play on a defense. Because to play good defense, you have to be a really, really good team. You have to have a really good team chemistry. On offense, one player can carry your team for a certain amount of time, but then eventually you will be exposed and that one player won't be able to just do it all by himself anymore. But on defense, you have to have good team chemistry. You have to have more than one guy to be able to have a good defense.
I agree. Where do you have UCLA ending up?
5-6 wins.
5-6? Yeah, that's true. Because when you've got virtually nothing to work with, I mean, when you have something to work with, but nothing that stands out, it's kind of hard to give someone an edge.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Considering on how they've done recently, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's nothing much to talk about. Tanner, did you say anything on UCLA?
I mean, I really don't have much to say about them, honestly, just because I haven't looked into them that much.
Okay, so let's move on to the other side of Los Angeles, to USC. USC, everybody knows they're in their probation stage right now. They still cannot play postseason games, which also include championship games, by the way.
True.
So, but they are returning 13 starters, 6 on offense, 7 on defense. Matt Barkley is the heart and soul of the entire team right now. Matt Barkley is a great quarterback. He's overlooked because USC's current situation. People write him off.
He's a junior, isn't he?
Yes, he is a junior. But people do write him off because of USC's current situation. So you don't hear that much at USC. You don't see them on TV as much because nobody really wants to watch them because they're not going anywhere.
Barkley's already a junior?
He's already a junior, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's a sophomore.
No, he's a junior. He's played 2 years.
It says right here he's a sophomore.
Sophomore last
year.
year.
Looking on last year.
Are you on ESPN? If ESPN tells you their year or their whatever year they're in last year's year.
Okay.
Yeah, he is a sophomore because he did come in the class with Garrett Gilbert from Texas because he was the number 1 quarterback and Garrett Gilbert was the second. And they're both juniors.
Okay.
So, yeah, Matt Barkley is a great quarterback. He's overlooked because of the situation, like I said. But just like last year, I think it's going to be the exact same thing as last year. They'll come into the season pumped, like let's just win and prove everybody that we can still win without having to be able to go to the postseason. But then you're gonna get tired, you're gonna get beat up, and you're gonna realize there's nothing for us to play for. We can't get to the postseason. What do we have to play for? And they're gonna lose that competitive edge like they did last year. So
I mean, they're not gonna go into any games pumped at all. No momentum.
I think they will start the season off pumped, but
yeah,
about mid-season they'll fall off.
Season out pumped.
Yeah, well, I think 7 wins is exactly where they'll be again this year.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think that they're honestly going to do a little better this year than when people are going to give them credit. Like, I don't think they're going to lose a competitive edge because, they can't help what happened to them. The guys now can't help what went on,
Yeah, I mean.
And there's a lot of them that kind of feel like they got screwed.
Yeah.
oh well, I worked my whole life to go play for USC. Here I am and can't do anything,
Yeah.
And so that's why I think that they're going to be a little more. I mean, I think they're going to be a little more motivated now. Barkley's better